Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video on the Gooners and Gloves Podcast channel. In today's video, it's going to be the 74th Gooners and Gloves Podcast, and I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts and reactions to Martin Zubimendi joining Arsenal. This is a bit of a different podcast as I've never done one on transfer news before. This is something I plan on doing throughout the summer as more and more transfers get announced. It's something I'm really excited for, so hopefully you guys enjoy this. It's a bit different to my usual podcast where I'm reacting to games and boxing matches and giving predictions, because this is going to be more of like a sort of tactical analysis and kind of just giving my thoughts on a specific player kind of video. So I really hope you guys enjoy this. I'm looking forward to doing these more and more as the summer goes on, and hopefully hopefully sooner rather than later I'll be doing this for a striker. Fingers crossed that sooner rather than later Arsenal will have signed a striker and I can make one of these videos talking about a striker. But alas, this is a signing I'm really excited for. I think it's a fantastic signing. I'm really looking forward to Martin Zubimendi joining the club. Obviously it's not like 100% like he's not currently an Arsenal player yet, but that's really just because like obviously the window hasn't opened yet. Personal terms are agreed. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that via his "Here we go" tweet, we're looking set to activate his release clause. So it's as done as it can be without like being fully over the line, if you get what I mean. So it's pretty much certain. It's definitely happening, and I'm ecstatic. I think this is a brilliant signing. I'm really looking forward to welcoming Martin Zubimendi to North London. I think this is a great signing. I'm very excited about it. So as you can see on the screen, I've just got a list of points that I'll be going over in terms of why I like this signing, why I think it's a really good signing, and why I think that Arsenal will definitely benefit from this. Obviously, as we know, the priority is the striker, and we're going to continue to hope that we will get the striker. And as I said, hopefully I'll be able to make one of these videos about a striker. But I think this is a great first signing for Arsenal. I think this is a really good statement of intent, and I'm just really excited to welcome Zubimendi to Arsenal and to see him in the North London Red in the 2025-26 season. So pretty much, let's go on and get straight into why I like this transfer and why I'm really happy about it, and just give some of my like sort of general thoughts on it. So firstly, I like that it shows Arsenal's pull in the transfer market. Obviously, Arsenal's pull in the transfer market over the recent years has always been questioned. It's always been doubted. It's always kind of been bantered a bit. People saying that we don't really have any pull, but I think the signing definitely shows that is untrue. I think we definitely have pull in the transfer market. Obviously, Martin Zubimendi is somebody that both Liverpool and Real Madrid wanted. They were quite heavily pursuing him. So the fact that we were able to beat both Liverpool and Real Madrid and sign Zubimendi ourselves is fantastic, and I think a very good statement of intent. And I want to give a massive shout out to both Mikel Arteta and also Andrea Berta for getting this over the line. I think that it's a massive statement of intent from them, because obviously they knew that Liverpool and Real Madrid were all over Martin Zubimendi. So the fact that we were able to convince him to join Arsenal is fantastic, and I think that's going to be really good. I think it's going to be a great morale boost for both Berta and Arteta to now go and get some of those more complicated deals over the line. Whether it be Alexander Isak, whether it be Victor Gyökeres, Benjamin Šeško, Nico Williams, etc. I think this is definitely going to give a massive boost to Arsenal, to Berta, to Arteta, to be able to now go and get some of those more difficult transfers over the line. So I'm very happy about this. It's a great transfer, and I think it's brilliant because it shows Arsenal's pull in the transfer market, and I think it's a fantastic statement of intent from both Andrea Berta and Mikel Arteta. So that's the first thing. Secondly, obviously this is one of the most talked about points, and that's the potential for a double pivot with Declan Rice, and I am excited about this. I mean, a Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi double pivot is absolutely phenomenal and one of the best in world football. Obviously, you can have Martin Zubimendi be the more like deep lying playmaker, and then you can have Declan Rice go up a bit further, collect the ball, pass it on to other teammates, run up a bit further up the field, and I think it's just an absolutely fantastic double pivot, and honestly one of the best double pivots in football. And let's be honest, it's a filthy double pivot. It's an absolutely filthy double pivot, Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi. As mentioned before, Martin Zubimendi can be sort of the more deep lying playmaker. He can get those balls across, and then Declan Rice can collect them, go further up the pitch, get the balls across to his teammates, or just have a shot on goal himself. And it's an absolutely fantastic double pivot. So definitely for me, this is something which is one of the key reasons why Arsenal fans should be very excited about this transfer, and why I'm absolutely buzzing about it, because this Zubimendi and Declan Rice link up will be absolutely fantastic. Speaking of Declan Rice, unfortunately it does seem like he's sustained a hamstring injury. It's yet another hamstring injury for Arsenal. Seriously, I don't know why this keeps happening, but unfortunately it's yet another hamstring injury. But anyway, that's off topic. But yeah, I think this double pivot with Declan Rice will be absolutely fantastic. I think it would just give him that confidence, you know what I mean? I think Rice would really get that confidence from having a really good defensive player like Martin Zubimendi next to him, because then Rice, can fully comfortably go up further. Obviously Rice is still defensive, so he'll still stay back, but obviously Zubimendi just provides that great solidity in the 6, which means that Rice in that 8 can go further up the pitch and can really create chances, while Martin Zubimendi takes care of all the defensive duties, obviously in that number 6 position. So definitely one of the main reasons why me and so many Arsenal fans are ecstatic about this transfer transfer, it's that double pivot with Declan Rice. I think it'll be absolutely incredible. I think it would just make Arsenal's midfield so good. Obviously, Arsenal already has a fantastic midfield in my opinion, but this is certainly going to add a whole nother element to the midfield and just take Arsenal's midfield to a whole nother level. So I'm super excited about it, and definitely one of the big reasons why I'm so happy is that double pivot with Declan Rice. Obviously, he's a very experienced midfielder. We know that he's very experienced. He's played in that position a long time. He's been at Sociedad a long time. Obviously, he won the Euros with Spain, and I thought he was fantastic. Definitely, Zubimendi was one of their best players at the Euros. He was absolutely fantastic, and obviously he lifted that trophy at the end of last season. So he obviously has the pedigree and he knows what it takes. Obviously, playing for Real Sociedad in a difficult league like La Liga, very intense, very physical league like La Liga, and obviously the number 6 is a very tough position to play in that sort of league. But in spite of that, in spite of coming up against very explosive wingers and attackers, etc., he's somebody who's able to kind of keep them contained, keep his composure, and I think that experience is just really going to help the team. That experience is really going to help. I think it's going to be fantastic, and it's going to be great to see to have somebody in the team who's done good stuff. He's played in a very tough league. He's won the Euros. He's been a standout player for Sociedad for a long time. So definitely that's going to be a big factor. I think just kind of having that experienced midfielder along with Declan Rice, along with Odegaard, Marino, etc., it's just going to really be good for our defense and keep that solidity. Obviously, our defense is already the best in the league, as obviously we've conceded the least goals, and definitely Martin Zubimendi for me will add to that. We know that Martin Zubimendi is very calm, very composed, very good at what he does, and he's got that great solidity in the number 6. So that's another reason that I'm very excited about this transfer, is just his experience. I think it's always great to have an experienced player in the squad like that. Obviously, Declan Rice is already someone who's very experienced and is very good, got very good leadership qualities, and I think that definitely Zubimendi is someone who provides those same leadership qualities. He's very composed, he's very calm, and he just kind of gets on with his work, and is just very good at what he does. So I think that experience that we'll get in midfield is going to be fantastic, and I think Martin Zubimendi is definitely going to be somebody who the squad can look up to as a bit of a role model. He's obviously very experienced, very good at what he does, and ultimately will definitely puts in a solid graft. He definitely puts in a solid graft in that midfield position, and he's just going to be brilliant with that experience. Obviously, he's very defensively solid. We know this. He's got fantastic defensive stats. I mean, he is a CDM. You would certainly hope so, but he's definitely a fantastic CDM. Really has that calmness, that composure. He's able to get the ball back, play it across. But the thing is, he's also a very good playmaker. So he's one of those DMs which, DMs like him are so good because they're playmakers as well. So as much as he's got that central defensive midfielder role, he also plays balls across. He's also very good at passing, and this is another reason why that double pivot with Rice, in my opinion, will be so successful, because he is a bit of a playmaker as well, and I think that's something that's so good. Another good example of a playmaking CDM is obviously Rodri. Rodri at Manchester City is fantastic at playmaking as well, and Zubimendi definitely has some of those similar qualities to Rodri, where aside from just being a very good defensive midfielder, he definitely knows how to play balls across as well, and that's just fantastic, and obviously something that we definitely need. Obviously our CDMs right now aren't bad in this department, but they're definitely not quite as good as Zubimendi. I think Zubimendi has that fantastic playmaking. Obviously Rice is a very good playmaker, but again, you could argue that Rice is a bit better in the 8 than he is in the 6. So I think definitely he's a very good playmaking number 6, and that's why I'm excited about Zubimendi, because that playmaking quality, as well as the defensive quality, will just help us so much. Our existing CDMs definitely are decent, are good CDMs. They defend well, but they don't quite have that very good playmaking that Martin Zubimendi does. So I think that's another reason why I'm very excited. It's just his playmaking abilities. He can get the passes across, he can create opportunities, and as I said, he's got some of those Rodri qualities from Manchester City, and that's definitely a great thing. Obviously, as I mentioned before, he had a great Euros. He was very good at the Euro 2024 in Germany. Obviously, Spain went on to win the whole thing and lift the trophy. And for me, Martin Zubimendi was definitely a key factor of that. I thought he was he had a fantastic tournament. He was a very good player, probably one of Spain's best players of that season, and he was just fantastic in that competition. And as mentioned before, it's really good to have a trophy winner like that in the team, because obviously one thing that Arsenal keeps being bantered for is the unfortunate lack of trophies. And I think having somebody like Martin Zubimendi, who's been there, done it, won a trophy, and not just any trophy, but the Euros, quite literally one of the hardest trophies to win in world football. The fact that he's been there and done it and played for such a fantastic team, I think he's going to be able to bring a lot of that passion, a lot of that desire to the club, and he's going to be able to instill that winning mentality into some of our players. Obviously, it allows the likes of Odegaard and Marino to push up further. This is obvious. Obviously, Martin Zubimendi is a fantastic CDM, and when you have a fantastic CDM, you really get that confidence for certain. Absolutely, when you have a really good CDM, you are confident to go up front, and we've seen it multiple times this season. When the likes of Odegaard and Rice and Marino, etc., have a good CDM in the position, they are just able to go so far up the pitch, and then we're able to score like 4, 5, 6 goals. We've seen it many times this season, and definitely one of the key reasons why we're able to carve teams apart like that is when Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, Mikel Merino, etc. go up further, and I think that Martin Zubimendi is just going to give them that complete confidence to go up further. Obviously, CDM is such a crucial position, and when you have a good CDM, you're just so confident. Like, I can absolutely say that I can say that for certain. When you have a very good CDM covering that position and giving your defense that solidity, all of the 2-8s, the number 10, etc., just have that confidence to go up front. Obviously, when we don't have a good CDM or when our CDMs are injured, you could see that Odegaard and Rice sit a bit deeper. They're a bit nervous. They don't really go up that much. Trossard as well, that's another good example. But when you got Martin Zubimendi in that number 6, just completely, keeping our defensive shape, it would just give Odegaard, Marino, Rice so much confidence to push further up the pitch, create the chances, get shots on target, and ultimately just really, really suffocate the opposition. So that's certainly going to allow them to be a lot more confident. And of course, he has chemistry with other Real Sociedad teammates. Obviously, Arsenal have bought multiple players from Real Sociedad. Obviously, Odegaard and Marino being key examples. Odegaard a few years ago, Marino just recently last year. So he's obviously going to have that chemistry with those players. He obviously knows them quite well, and it's always nice. And I think that definitely Arsenal and Real Sociedad have a very good working relationship, I'd say. Arsenal, I think, now has bought like 3 or 4 players off them in the last like 5 years. So they're certainly a club that we like buying players from, and this is another addition from Real Sociedad. So yeah, there you go. It's another edition, and it's just very, very exciting. It's yet another edition from Real Sociedad, and obviously it's going to be really good for Martin Zubimendi because he's got that chemistry with other Real Sociedad teammates already established in the Arsenal lineup. And yeah, those are my main thoughts, really. I think it's a fantastic signing. Obviously, the price is definitely hefty. It's just over £50 million, which obviously is hefty. It is very hefty. There's no denying it. It's not cheap. However, for a player of his caliber and his experience level and his quality, he gives us what we need. I think it's a price worth paying, and all in all, it's not too bad. So I'd imagine that as soon as the transfer window opens in a couple of weeks, we'll probably look to officially activate the release clause and make Martin Zubimendi an Arsenal player, and hopefully we can get him to play the preseason games. It'd be absolutely fantastic. Get him to play those preseason games, give him that fitness, and get him ready for a huge season ahead in the 2025-26 season. But all in all, it's looking very much like Martin Zubimendi is the first Arsenal signing of 2025-26. A super exciting signing, one that I'm absolutely buzzing about, and I think he's going to add so much to Arsenal. And definitely, if you're an Arsenal fan watching this, which hopefully, there's a lot of you, get behind him, get behind Martin Zubimendi, because this is going to be a fantastic signing, and I'm super excited. We know how much Mikel Merino ended up adding to us when we signed him last year. Aside from his good defensive work in midfield, he was also obviously absolutely fantastic up front. So Martin Zubimendi for me is a fantastic signing. I'm super excited about him, and definitely welcome to Arsenal, Martin Zubimendi. Welcome to North London. Really, really excited to see him wearing the North London red, and for the official announcement in a couple of weeks when the transfer window opens. But all in all, that's going to conclude my thoughts on Martin Zubimendi. Please let me know down below what you think of this. Whether you're an Arsenal fan or a rival fan, please let me know either way what you think of the Martin Zubimendi to Arsenal move. I'm really interested to see what you guys say. Again, apologies for getting this out slightly late. I was quite busy. However, I was now able to get it out now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'm super excited about this transfer. I think it's fantastic, and I think he just gives us so much, and I think he's going to be a brilliant signing. As I mentioned before, the striker is obviously the priority, and hopefully we will see a good striker at Arsenal very, very soon. But I think this is a great first step in the right direction for the summer transfer window. It's a fantastic statement of intent from Arsenal, and I think it's going to be a very, very exciting signing. So get behind Zubimendi, welcome Zubimendi to Arsenal. I'm really, really excited to see him in the North London red. I can't wait to see him playing for us. It's going to be brilliant. But anyway, that's going to go ahead and do it for my hopefully first of many transfer videos. I've definitely got more of these lined up as they come along. This is the first one. Really hoping I can make one for for maybe Nico Williams, or I don't know, Alexander Isak, Victor Gyökeres, etc. We'll have to see, but hopefully there'll be some really good signings coming soon. But anyway, really hope you guys enjoyed this. I actually had a great time doing this. This is obviously a bit of a different video for me, but I really, really enjoyed making it, and I'm looking forward to making videos on more of the Arsenal signings as the summer progresses. So do look forward to all of those. Hopefully I can get some more tactical videos out as well, because I really enjoyed the more tactical aspect of this video, kind of breaking down tactics. It was really enjoyable. But anyway, that's going to go on and do it for me. Thank you for all the support recently. I really, really appreciate it. Whether you're an Arsenal fan or a Real Sociedad fan, please let me know down below what you think of the Martin Zubimendi to Arsenal signing. Me personally, I'm ecstatic about it, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. But anyway, I'm going to go on and catch you guys with another podcast soon. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Have a great day, and I'll catch you guys with another podcast soon. Bye bye.